My husband cheated, and now he wants to stay, but I'm not sure I can ever trust him again. Hey Reddit, I never thought I'd be writing something like this, but I need advice. My husband, Ryan, and I have been together for 7 years, married for 3. We've had our share of ups and downs, but overall I thought we were solid. We were planning to start a family soon, and we were even house hunting.
I felt secure.
But all of that came crashing down 3 weeks ago when I discovered that he had been cheating on me. It all started on a Tuesday evening, one of those nights where everything seemed perfectly normal. Ryan and I had dinner together and sat down to watch a few episodes of a show we'd been following. There was no tension, no sign of anything unusual. After the last episode, Ryan said he was going to take a shower before bed, leaving his phone on the kitchen counter, like always. I wasn't looking for anything suspicious, but as I was cleaning up, his phone lit up with a notification. The name that popped up was Claire. I didn't recognize the name, but that wasn't what caught my attention. It was the message itself. Asterisk, can't wait to see you again. Asterisk, I froze. My heart started racing. I knew I shouldn't look, but my mind was screaming at me. I felt that sudden, overwhelming sense of dread, like my world was about to collapse. Against my better judgment, I picked up his phone and opened it. What I found hit me like a freight train. There was a long thread of messages between Ryan and Claire. At first, it was relatively harmless. Small talk, casual flirtation. But as I scrolled further back, the conversation became more explicit. The texts revealed that they'd been talking for months, and it wasn't just harmless banter. There were photos, too intimate, suggestive, and some outright explicit. The messages painted a picture of secret meetups, flirty banter, and at least one kiss. That kiss, that one simple act had shattered everything. When Ryan got out of the shower, I was still sitting on the couch, holding his phone in my hands. I wasn't sure what I felt. Rage, disbelief, betrayal, all of it swirling together into something I couldn't even process. He walked into the room, towel draped around his neck, and froze when he saw me holding his phone. His eyes widened in immediate recognition of what I must have seen. For a moment, we just stared at each other in silence. "What's this?" I asked, my voice shaking as I held up the phone. His face drained of color. "I can explain," he started, but I cut him off. "Explain what? The pictures? The flirty messages? Or maybe the part where you kissed her? You've been lying to me for months, Ryan." He sat down across from me, his hands trembling as he reached for mine. "It's not what you think," he pleaded. It's not." I pulled my hands away, standing up as I felt tears burning behind my eyes. "Not what I think. Are you serious? I've read the messages, Ryan. I know everything. So, please, tell me, what am I supposed to think?" He looked devastated, but I couldn't muster any sympathy. "It was a mistake," he said, voice breaking. "I didn't want it to go this far. I never meant to hurt you." I laughed bitterly. "You never meant to hurt me? Ryan, you chose to do this. Every day. You lied to me every time you came home and acted like everything was fine. You've been sneaking around behind my back, and now you're telling me it was just a mistake. I swear we didn't sleep together," he said, his eyes filled with desperation. "It was only a kiss. I got caught up in the attention, in feeling something new, but it never went further than that. And that's supposed to make it better?" I shot back. "You betrayed me. Whether you slept with her or not, you still chose someone else over me. You chose to build this secret life with her." I could see him struggling to find the words. "I don't know why I did it," he whispered, his voice raw. "It was a stupid, selfish thing, and I hate myself for it. I love you. I've always loved you. I can't imagine my life without you." I wiped my tears, but the betrayal felt too deep to forgive in that moment. "Then why did you throw it all away?" I asked softly. "If you love me, why wasn't I enough?" I told Ryan I needed space, time to process everything. I couldn't bear to be near him after what I'd seen. He packed a bag that night and went to stay with his brother, and I've been alone in the house ever since. Every room feels empty, filled with memories that now seem tainted by his lies. The silence is suffocating, but the idea of him coming back feels unbearable. For the first week, I couldn't even look at my phone. Every time it buzzed with a message from him, my heart would pound, and I'd feel physically sick. I knew I wasn't ready to talk to him, but ignoring him wasn't helping either. I felt like I was stuck in this horrible limbo, unsure of what my next step should be. After a week of silence from me, Ryan began sending longer, more heartfelt messages. He apologized over and over, saying that he'd do anything to make things right. He suggested couples therapy, individual therapy, complete transparency, whatever it would take to prove that he was serious about fixing things. One night, he sent me a message that stopped me in my tracks. Asterisk, I know I messed up in the worst possible way, and I don't expect you to forgive me anytime soon, but I can't give up on us. I made the biggest mistake of my life, and I'll spend the rest of it trying to make it up to you if you'll let me. Asterisk, I didn't reply. Couldn't. I wasn't ready to have that conversation. After 2 weeks, I agreed to meet him in person at a coffee shop near our house. I didn't want to see him at home, our home. It felt too personal, too raw. When I walked in, I saw him sitting by the window, staring down at his coffee like he didn't know what to do with it. When he saw me, he stood up quickly, like he didn't know if he should hug me or stay put. He settled on staying put. Thanks for meeting me, he said, his voice barely above a whisper. I sat down across from him, taking a deep breath. I'm here because we need to talk. I don't know where this is going to go, but I can't keep avoiding it. He nodded, his eyes red and puffy like he hadn't slept in days. I know. I've been trying to give you space, but I need you to stop apologizing for a minute. I interrupted, surprising myself with the sharpness in my voice. I just need to understand why. Why did you do it? What was missing? Was I not enough? Ryan shook his head vehemently, his hands trembling on the table. No, it wasn't about you. It was never about you. I don't know. I don't even know why I did it. Claire was just there. She was flattering me, making me feel, I don't know, alive in some stupid way. But it wasn't real. It was a distraction. It was a fantasy that I let go too far. I didn't say anything. I just stared at him, wondering how the man sitting in front of me, the man I thought I knew better than anyone, could be the same person who had betrayed me so deeply. Ryan took a deep breath before continuing. It started at work. Claire was a colleague and we worked on a project together. We'd grab drinks with the team after meetings, and one night, it just crossed a line. She flirted with me, and instead of shutting it down, I played along. At first, it felt harmless, just some banter. But then the texts started, and I didn't stop them. I should have. I know I should have, but I didn't. Why? I asked, my voice hoarse. Why didn't you stop? He looked down, ashamed. Because it made me feel, I don't know, important, special, like I was someone different, someone who wasn't stressed out all the time, or worried about work, or feeling like I was constantly failing. I know that sounds pathetic. I know it doesn't excuse anything, but that's the truth. I wanted to scream, and you couldn't talk to me about feeling like that? You couldn't come to me? I was scared, he admitted. Scared that if I told you how lost I was feeling, it would make things worse. I know it's no excuse. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I want you to know how badly I regret this. I never wanted to hurt you. After our conversation, I felt more confused than ever. My friends and family have all weighed in with their opinions, but none of them have helped. My best friend Tara is adamant that I should leave him. Once a cheater, always a cheater, she said one night over drinks. He doesn't deserve a second chance after what he did to you. But my mom, who's been married to my dad for 35 years, had a different view. People make mistakes, honey. Marriage is about weathering the storms together. If he's really sorry, and if you still love him, maybe there's a way to come back from this. My emotions have been a whirlwind. One minute, I think I want to try to fix things. The next, I feel like I should just walk away and never look back. Ryan is still staying with his brother. We've had a few more conversations, but I haven't made any decisions yet. He's been pushing for therapy. He's even started seeing a therapist on his own to work through his issues. He's promised to be transparent with everything, from his phone to his schedule. and he says he'll never give up on proving that he's worthy of another chance. But every time I look at him, all I can see is those messages, that betrayal. How do you rebuild trust after something like this? How do you look at the person you thought you knew, the person you thought you'd spend your life with, and believe that they won't hurt you again? I still love him. I hate that I do. But is love enough? Part 2. The shocking revelation. Hey Reddit, I didn't expect to come back so soon, but things have taken an unbelievable, gut-wrenching turn. I'm still trying to process everything that's happened, and honestly, I don't know where to start. I thought I had all the facts. I thought I was just dealing with a broken marriage caused by one betrayal. But now I realize that my entire relationship with Ryan was a lie, and what I've discovered has left me shaken to the core. After my last post, I was still living in that unbearable limbo. Ryan and I were talking, and he was pushing hard for therapy, transparency, and all the right things you're supposed to do after cheating. I wasn't sure if I wanted to fix things, but a small part of me was clinging to the hope that maybe, just maybe, he was genuinely sorry. I still loved him despite the pain. I thought, if nothing else, maybe we could get to a place of understanding. He was still staying at his brother's, and I was in our home, feeling more like a stranger every day. I'd walk into the bedroom we'd shared for years, and it didn't feel like mine anymore. Every memory, every photo, every little item reminded me of what had happened. The thought of him with Claire, of that betrayal, played in a loop in my mind, driving me to the edge. But the worst was yet to come. It was a Wednesday night. I had just gotten home from work and was sitting on the couch, trying to decide whether I should talk to Ryan again or if I needed more space. My phone buzzed on the coffee table, and I saw an unknown number flash across the screen. Normally, I don't pick up calls from numbers I don't recognize, but something made me grab the phone. Hello, I answered cautiously. There was a pause on the other end, and then a woman's voice spoke. Is this O.P? Who's asking? I replied, suddenly on high alert. It's Claire, she said, her voice soft and hesitant. My heart stopped. Claire, the woman Ryan cheated on me with. I didn't even know what to say. 1,000 thoughts rushed through my mind. What did she want? Why was she calling me? After a few seconds of stunned silence, I found my voice. What do you want? Please don't hang up, Claire said quickly, sounding anxious. I know this is the last thing you want to hear, but there's something you need to know. And Ryan's not going to tell you. I gripped the phone tightly, my mind racing. What the hell do you have to say to me? Claire's voice trembled. He lied to me too. What are you talking about? I demanded, feeling a fresh wave of anger building inside me. Lied to you about what? Claire let out a shaky breath. When Ryan and I started talking, he told me he was single. He said he'd been divorced for over a year, and that he was just getting back into the dating scene. I had no idea he was married. I didn't find out about you until much later, when things had already progressed between us. My mind was spinning. Divorced? Ryan had told her he was divorced? Are you telling me you didn't know he was married? I asked, my voice icy. You expect me to believe that? I swear, I didn't know at first. Claire insisted. He never mentioned you. Not once. He made it seem like he was this guy, just trying to move on from a tough breakup. And I believed him. I know I'm not blameless in this. I should have done more digging. I should have figured it out sooner. But he was so convincing. I didn't realize the truth until a few months in, and by then, I was already in too deep. Too deep, I echoed bitterly. What does that even mean? Claire's voice dropped to a whisper. It means we didn't just kiss. We slept together. A lot. And he wasn't just cheating with me. There are others. I felt like the floor had been ripped out from under me. What did you just say? My voice was barely audible. There are other women? Claire repeated, her voice heavy with guilt. I didn't know at first, but after I confronted him about lying to me, he admitted everything. He's been cheating on you for years. It wasn't just me. He's been seeing multiple women behind your back. I think he might be addicted to it. He said he didn't want to hurt anyone, but I'm sorry. I had to tell you. Couldn't breathe. My head was pounding, and I felt like I was going to be sick. Years. Not just one affair, but a series of betrayals stretching back for who knows how long. The man I thought I knew, the man I'd built my life with, was a stranger, a compulsive liar. And worse, he'd been playing me, Claire, and who knows how many others. How many? I asked, my voice shaking with rage and disbelief. I don't know exactly, Claire said, her voice small, but he mentioned at least 2 other women. Maybe more. He said it was never serious with them, but I don't think you can believe anything he says anymore. After the call, I sat in stunned silence for what felt like hours. I replayed every moment of my marriage, every red flag I'd ignored, every time Ryan had stayed late at work or seemed distant, and I realized I'd been blind. The man I loved had been leading a double life, and I'd been too naive, too trusting to see it. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just sat there, numb. Eventually, I picked up my phone and dialed Ryan's number. I didn't even know what I was going to say, but I needed to hear his voice. I needed to confront him. He answered after a couple of rings. Hey, Oda P. I've been wanting to talk. Save it. I cut him off. I just got off the phone with Claire. There was a long, tense silence on the other end of the line. I could hear him breathing, but he didn't say a word. Did you really think I wouldn't find out? I asked, my voice cold. She told me everything, Ryan. About the lies. About you telling her you were divorced. About how you've been cheating on me with other women for years. Still, he didn't speak. The silence was deafening. How many? I demanded. How many women have there been, Ryan? Finally, he spoke, his voice barely a whisper. I don't know. You don't know. I screamed, my voice breaking. How can you not know how many women you've cheated on me with? I'm sorry, he said, his voice cracking. I never meant for it to get this bad. I never wanted to hurt you. You've been hurting me for years, I said, my voice full of venom. Every day, every lie, every time you came home and pretended everything was fine. I trusted you. I loved you. And you threw it all away for what? Some cheap thrill. I was lost, he stammered, trying to justify the unjustifiable. I don't know, I felt trapped and I made mistakes. I know I messed up, but I swear, I still love you. I'll do anything to fix this. We can go to therapy. Therapy? I laughed bitterly. You really think therapy is going to fix this? You've been lying to me for years, Ryan. You've been cheating on me with multiple women, and you expect me to believe that therapy is going to magically fix everything? I don't even know who you are anymore. I can change, he said, desperation creeping into his voice. I'll change. Just give me a chance. I took a deep breath, trying to steady myself. I'm done, Ryan. I'm done with your lies. I'm done with this marriage. I want a divorce. After that conversation, I left our house. I packed a suitcase with the essentials and went to stay with my best friend, Tara. She's been a rock through all of this, letting me cry, scream, and vent as much as I need. I told her everything, and she's been nothing but supportive. She even helped me find a lawyer to start the divorce process. Ryan's been blowing up my phone ever since. Texts, voicemails, even showing up at Tara's place, begging me to talk to him, begging for another chance. He keeps saying that he'll change, that he'll do whatever it takes, but I can't listen to his lies anymore. It's over. It has to be. I'm in the process of filing for divorce now. I feel broken, but also strangely relieved, like a weight has been lifted off my chest. I know it's going to take time to heal, but at least now I can start to rebuild my life without the constant betrayal hanging over me. As for Ryan, I don't care anymore. He's made his bed, and now he has to lie in it, alone.